Hi, we're here with Mai Lefler, a mom of a daughter who has autism, and she's going to tell us about her experience. Can you tell me about yourself and your experience with autism?
I have a 7-year-old daughter that has autism. She was diagnosed when she was 3 years old, and since then, the diagnosis, she went into an IBI program and was in there for close to 3 years. She got discharged from it last year, and it's seen a great improvement from that program.
Yeah, so what kind of autism is it that she has? What severity?
They say before it all went under the umbrella of autism spectrum disorder, it would have been called PDD, pervasive developmental disorder.
Oh, what's the difference?
What affects her is her speech. She has difficulty with certain words and her grammar in regards to communicating her thoughts. She also has difficulty in some areas of knowing the right and wrongs of a topic.
Okay. And what would you define as autism for others?
I find autism is more of a social disorder than, as people like to call it, mental disorder. It's, when people are painfully shy and so forth. This is kids that don't really know how to communicate, and they communicate better within their own head.
What age were you when you had Megan?
I was old. I was 33.
And do you think that has anything to do with her getting autism?
I don't know particularly. I knew when I was pregnant, I felt something different in regards to the pregnancy, because she did a lot of the twitching. If anything, I thought maybe she was epileptic, because she did a lot of twitching, which she does even now at 7. And I refer to it as her hand flapping. It just...
So that twitch that she does when she's reading, like Victoria was talking about?
Exactly, and she flicks the wrist and that. It's... she would do it constantly in the womb. Okay. And I knew something was different there, but I didn't know. And then when her speech wasn't developing properly, that's when I knew something was different.
And what age was Megan when you discovered that she had autism?
I knew something was different before she was 2.
Yeah.
That's when I called the local health unit to ask for advice in regards to a speech therapist. I wanted to get her tested for that, because when she was born, she failed her hearing test 3 times, so I thought maybe it had something to do with hearing. But the more she got tested with the speech pathologist, she recommended that she be a program called REACH, that she would be eligible for classes, not necessarily classes, but workshops that they had for children, because they knew something was special about her.
And so what age was she when she was actually fully diagnosed?
Yeah. 3.5.
3.5. So it took a couple years?
Well, I kind of fought it in a sense, but she also had difficulty. Every time we would take her to the pediatrician, she would freak out. So we never really got her to sit down with a pediatrician until I realized that his home office is similar to our home. And she felt more comfortable in this home office, and once there, he was able to diagnose her after 2 visits.
And what age is she now? You think we covered that? She's 7. Yeah. And what kind of procedures did you have to go through? You mentioned quite a bit, but What procedures did you have to go to discover that she had autism?
Well, first we went to the speech pathologist, and they recommended at first for the socially, to get her more social, other than being around just her siblings, to go into the daycare, and then the daycare suggested that her to go for a diagnosis with a pediatrician, and once she's diagnosed, doors will open with programs in the communities for autism.
Nice. And what were the signs Megan was showing that you noticed that she was different?
Well, her speech and the hand flapping, the noises she would make, the repetitive noises, the lining up of things, and having her little meltdowns when she couldn't complete a task, when something that's easy, she could think it, see it, but couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So it would be frustrating for her.
And what are the distinct signs that that shows that she's different from the rest of us? Like, what makes an autistic person?
Physical or
all in general? Does that mean it's gonna stop?
Is it?
Go on.
Well, her hand flapping, her ability to totally tune you out. If you're talking something that she could care less about, she can tune you out, and go in her own little world, kind of, so to speak. She's one foot to the other. She will do stuff like I don't know. She just has her little quirks.
And what kind of effects did Megan having autism have on the family?
Well, with the older kids, they felt that there was a lot of favoritism. More time was spent with Megan in regards to, she had more programs and outings. She would get special services funding so therefore she could get things whereas the other kids couldn't. Just
about the family as a whole, like the whole family.
The whole family. I think it brought us together in a way. Well, the kids.
Mm-hmm.
It just made us more of a unit.
And what resources do you use and find the most useful with Megan's autism?
What resources? Well, I have the funding where somebody will come and take her, and basically it's all about Megan for that person. And they take her, like she's been able to go on trips, even home visits, and she loves that aspect of it. She can now join. They have special workshops for autism kids.